Have you ever had one of those moments where every instinct in your body screams at you to stop, but you don't? Where something seems too good to be true, but you go along with it anyway? That was us. And it almost cost us everything. I've been skiing for as long as I've been able to walk. My parents used to ski competitively. That's actually how they met. So it was really important to them that my siblings and I learned as early as possible. My parents used to ski competitively. That's actually how they met. So it was really important to them that my siblings and I learned as early as possible. Fast forward about 20-odd years, and that's how old I am now. This story happened to me a few winters ago when I was 21 years old. I was a senior in college. Everyone knows the best skiing accessible to the Northeast is Vermont. It was supposed to be a trip like any other. Just me, Jaden, Rylan, and Amir. 4 friends, no worries, just adrenaline and fun. I can't even remember what mountain we were skiing on that trip. Jaden had booked the whole thing, and Rylan was driving. But I do remember one thing. The place was massive. 7 ski lifts, multiple peaks, and so many trails that after 2 full days of skiing, we still hadn't covered them all. It was the second day. We had already figured out which trails we liked, so today was about pushing our limits, as per tradition. And of course, we weren't skiing completely sober. A couple of fireball shooters made sure of that. We were having an absolute blast. The double blacks never got boring, and every slope turned into a race. With about an hour left before the lifts closed, we were all exhausted but reluctant to call it quits. We were standing at the top of the lifts, debating how we should end the trip. 2 girls made their way over to us. No helmets, no gear, just them. If only we had known that was the moment our trip went from fun to something we'd never forget for all the wrong reasons. And that's when the first hook sank in, though we didn't realize it at the time. Now, this might sound weird, but I wouldn't be doing this story justice if I left out one major detail. These girls were stunning. One brunette, one blonde, both drop-dead gorgeous. And I don't say that in a creepy way. It was just undeniable. The kind of beauty that makes you forget what you were doing for a second. It was disarming. They introduced themselves as Taylor and Devin. We started chatting. They told us they were bored because the mountain was full of old folks, which actually made sense. The day before, I had mentioned to the guys that we barely saw any people our age on the slopes. Devin was really into skiing, you could tell. She kept asking Amir all these technical questions about his skis. Him and Rylan owned expensive skis, while Jaden and I always rented. That little detail seemed to impress the girls. Taylor, on the other hand, noticed our fireball shooters and laughed. Then Devin did something that, looking back, should have set off alarm bells immediately. She pulled out an unmarked bottle. "You guys stick to something as tame as fireball?" she teased. "That's cute." Then she called us bitches. We were 4 guys, fueled by ego and competition. We couldn't back down now, so we took the bottle and drank. It burned, but not like alcohol should. I made a mental note not to drink too much. Something about this situation rubbed me the wrong way. I still couldn't understand why two girls this attractive would just walk up to a bunch of random guys on a ski trip, especially when we were all wearing helmets and our faces weren't even visible. But Amir was already flirting hard, and Taylor seemed to be into it. So I figured we'd just hang out with them until the slopes closed. Maybe they even had plans for later. That's when Devin dropped another hook. You guys ever skied Devil's Forest?